Please check them out. Latest in truck, Jeep, Overland, UTV, racing products from all the industry's leading brands. Everything. They sell everything from suspension kits, tires, and wheels. ORW, offroadwarehouse.com. Use the code PulpMX and save with those guys. ORW is pleased and proud to bring you our next guest of the night. He's a friend of the show. He's been all over the news. It's Cameron McAdoo. What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, I'm sore.
Dude,
how are you guys?
Mark's here told me you got 25,000 new followers after Tuesday's race. I don't know if you care or if you noticed.
Yeah, a lot of people were into that, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
It's not really the way I wanted to gain fans, but
right.
Yeah, it was a crazy night, that's for sure. I guess I didn't really, honestly, throughout the night, I didn't even really know anything was so special. I was just like, I'm okay, and I'm still able to do my job, so I need to go do it.
Right.
And
right.
You know, a lot of people thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. It gave a lot of us to talk about it and everything else. Obviously, look, the race didn't go the way you wanted to. Atlanta 3. Was it some of it due to being sore, being a bit weaker in spots? Did you feel like any of that held you back from riding? And then, of course, you had the practice crash too. But do you feel like any of your Tuesday stuff resulted in a poor race on Saturday?
You know, that's obviously been like a big talk, since
right.
Saturday. I think that whether I was maybe a hazard on the track or whatever people might want to chalk it up to. But actually, I really don't feel that way. In practice, I did the least amount of laps as I possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like the few that I did do were good laps, and I felt pretty good on the bike. Like I was obviously very, very sore, and my left leg was the biggest thing. Like I wasn't really able to put it out in corners because
mm-hmm.
it was my groin is so it was partially torn. So that was a big deal. And the practice crash, that was literally on the last lap of the last practice, and I just came up short on that quad, and
mm-hmm.
I do feel like that was the crash was caused by not having maybe full strength in my legs to really hold on. And
right.
when I came up short on that, I don't think it was maybe just so much strength, but it shocked my leg, and kind of did the same thing as when it originally happened. And that's kind of why I went off the triple the way I did.
Right.
I'm usually pretty strong in a situation like that, and I guess I wasn't able to be. But so like that was a big crash. That was not what I needed at all. And then going into the heat race, I was just like, I'm gonna get through it and see how I feel. Like.
Right.
So everyone could probably see, I was very conservative in my heat race, just to make sure I was good to go and could string some laps together. But when it came to the main event, obviously the first crash in the first section was I kind of ran wide. That section kind of favored into everyone running to the left a little bit,
mm-hmm.
and I was just on the left side of Styles coming into that double in, and we doubled together, and I totally ran out of space. I had nowhere to go, so I ended up on a tough block, which shot me back into the track, and then there I went right in front of Blows, and he kind of frame cased me in a way. So that was like a super big bummer. I was crazy bummed to have that happen, and then to see him laying in the track, unconscious. That's always scary as a rider. So, but that absolutely had nothing to do with any of my injuries or anything to do with my crash on Tuesday. That was just a total like racing incident, 20 guys going into a rhythm section, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, and then the rest of the stuff in the main event, like I got a pretty decent start in the second race, and I think I was running maybe fourth or fifth, and felt like I was going to have some pretty good pace and a chance to have a good race night. And it was, I don't remember who it was, someone else in my teammate Seth actually were right in front of me, and they kind of came together in the whoops, and they were seemed to be like they were crashing, and I was middle of blitzing them. That's obviously kind of been one of my stronger suits this year. So I was in the middle of skimming them, and I had nothing I could do. I smashed right into the back of Seth,
Right.
and fell over. So that was another deal that really had nothing to do with what I was dealing with my injuries from the Tuesday race, and got back up, and I was in 7th or 8th, and then had another little altercation with someone else, and that really put me back. I was on the ground for a little while
think?
there, but yeah, that I would imagine it's pretty fair to say that you really can't chalk that one up to have anything to do with what I was dealing with. So, honestly, the string of events kind of led to look like it was because I was injured, But I was definitely not at my full form. That's pretty obvious. I don't think there's any way you could be after what I dealt with on Tuesday.
But there's also other racers out there many times that are not on their full form, for sure.
Yeah, totally. I mean, how often is everyone on their full form?
Right.
I don't think anyone goes through a full season and is at every race at their perfect form. That's, we're racing dirt bikes, but I definitely don't think it's fair to say that it was dangerous for me to be on the track. I qualified 3rd out of practice, and I mean, I was riding okay,
Yeah. Obviously you saw that. I mean, I couldn't agree less with the AJE owners' social post. Hunter Lawrence came out in a Honda PR. I don't agree with him either. You saw some of that stuff. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Are you kind of like, whatever? I mean, you just explained that side, your side of things, but the backlash a little bit, are you taken aback by that a little bit?
Oh, I guess I didn't even really see anything that AJE posted or anything that Hunter said.
Yeah,
but, I've seen obviously a couple little things here and there that
Hunter, I'll read it back to you. Hunter said, I came through the pack in 5th, and then Cameron nearly fell off his bike going in the sand section. I don't think he was where he needed to be mentally or physically. He swerved right in front of me.
Oh, wow.
Huh. So, then the AGE guy was basically saying, obviously Blos is riding for that team, and he put out a post that I just can't agree with. I'm just like, come on, guy. So.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I guess, like I said, everyone is entitled to their opinion and whatnot. I did actually get a little bit sketchy in the sand right before that, for that over and under bridge where Hunter kind of ran into my back wheel. I didn't even know any of that happened actually until after the race when I rewatched it over with Hunter. I do remember kind of getting a little squirrely in that sand, but the whole deal when he kind of ran into my back wheel, I think that was a total. It wasn't my fault.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I guess
nutty.
If you know me, like, and me riding through a sand section, it's not always going to be straight, whether I'm at my full form or not.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, everyone could be, entitled to their opinion, and that's what that is. But I felt like it was a good choice for me to race that night, and it was, what I was going to do.
Yeah. The Marchbanks thing, Paul Parabinos here said he would have went back to his pit and would you say punch him, deck him?
I would have been pissed.
And then you said you would let the air out of his rental car a year later.
Yeah, I would have held a grudge for that one. That one would have pissed me off.
So props to you, Ramit, for maintaining some class there, because that was greasy. And Marchbanks, actually, I saw tonight, Marchbanks put on social media, he apologized to you. He apologized to the Pro Circuit team. He said he's taking a break from social media for a while. So he seems a little contrite about it, but that was greasy.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a bummer. But, like I said, I mean, we're racing, and I honestly don't – I mean, there's a reason that even after the race when they pulled me down to the podium to do an interview, like I don't mention those things because that's not something that I can control afterwards, and letting my emotions fly is not. It's never going to be a positive. So I can have my opinion on. Yeah. I mean, I can have my opinion on how that should have gone or why that happened, and so can anyone else. But I just keep it to myself, kind of, and go on because I want to race forward.
Right. Yeah. It was an eventful Atlanta for you, Ramit. It was very eventful. Good God.
And and the thing that's kind of was the biggest bummer for me is that I've really worked hard and spent a lot of time on my consistency and being like a more solid, version.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I've done that. I've done well with that this year so far. And out of 8 races, I've had 6 podiums and I've had a lot of heat race wins, and I've had a lot of consistency, I felt. And then, there's been just those couple times that it's just like, dang it, like, and that was how it seemed like, I got the ball rolling in Atlanta, and it was just, a few of those things, and nothing more wanted me to, prove JT wrong.
Yeah.
What JT said.
I know that JT's always been a little, I know that he's got a lot of question marks on me. So I'm like, I want to prove him wrong this year.
Wow. Listen, I generally speaking, this is a career year for you. You've looked 100% better, and Atlanta didn't go well. It was very exciting, but it didn't go well for you. But generally speaking, I feel like, you've taken some big steps forward, and to call you a title contender next year, indoors and out, you will be one of the guys. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of step you've taken. You went from a fill-in ride to a last-second ride to being a title contender indoors and out. That's pretty damn impressive. So, I think you've stepped it up big time.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and like we've worked our butts off for it, and
right.
And there's a lot of things that I need to improve on too, and I still can. Like, a lot of the things that happened in Atlanta, I've even, Nick, my trainer, and I have gone back and watched film and gone over the reasons why each thing happened and what we can do to not let that happen again, and you name it. So like, I'm doing everything in my power.
Yeah.
To be the best version of myself that I can.
Do you think you hit neutral on the Tuesday crash?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
I really don't think I did. Like,
okay.
That was one crash that I guess even when I rewatch it, I'm like, dang, like,
what happened?
That's gnarly that happened. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Most of my crashes, I can be like, all right, yep, I did this. Like, like on the
yeah.
whatever. Most every crash, I'm like, yeah, I did this wrong.
Right.
Right. But I rewatched that and I'm like, dang, like that's gnarly. I don't really know how that all went together and happened, but
right.
It happened quick.
Do you have any injuries that are going to hold you back? Anything? Obviously, your general soreness and your everything else. But do you have anything that's going to kind of, you got a week off here? Anything that's going to hold you back?
The biggest thing for me right now is my groin and my leg.
Okay.
It's not great right now, but
mm-hmm.
we're 48 hours from the last time I was on the bike,
Right,
so
right.
It's super swollen. It's black and blue, but I've been at therapy all day today with Dr. G and doing cold hot therapy. And we're going to do everything we possibly can to get it, back to perfect. So
right.
That's definitely the goal to be back in form to fight for a race win here in 2 weeks in Salt Lake, because that's, obviously the title's a pretty far shot right now,
right.
But I still want to, go do my job the best I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Off-Road Warehouse, bringing you Cameron McAdoo, whether you have a truck, Jeep, Overland, UTV, whatever it is, they'll dial you in. They install everything they sell, from suspension kits, tires, and wheels to steps, bed accessories, and more. 5% off with pulpmx.com code. They support the Team Chaparral guys with Mumford and Shock. How about Shock, McAdoo? Cody Shock's been good.
Wow, he has.
Yeah.
He's actually probably been like the most
improved
surprise of a guy.
Oh yeah.
This year in my class, I think. Like,
I agree.
And nothing against Shock at all either by saying that. Like, that's not taking anything from him. I'm like, I think I remember the first time I remember seeing him was, I want to say, Salt Lake City last year.
Yeah.
And geez, he's like,
dude, he couldn't get through the whoops. He couldn't get through the whoops.
Yeah, I mean, like when I rewatched, I think it was Daytona. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That dude, like, he was in like fourth for forever.
Right.
And but then like multiple times he's been, like inside the top 10, well inside the top 10.
Right. No, he's been doing good. So Off-Road Warehouse supports them with Mumford and Shock, ORW. It's a place to go for all your truck and off-road accessory needs. Marks, I feel like with McAdoo, like I wrote this in my column, but I feel like we knew McAdoo when he was like a small club band selling out 200 seats. You know what I mean? And we were going to all the shows and we loved him and we were on board. And now McAdoo is like playing the stadiums.
He's the band. He's the band that you say that, oh yeah, we saw them in this little venue.
Right. I feel like we knew McAdoo before he blew up.
We started the mosh pit.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I feel like Pulp MX was there before McAdoo just went worldwide. So, just FYI.
Yeah.
Cam.
Yeah, I definitely. I raced a 2-stroke at Straight Rhythm. I remember going up to the top of that little drop-in thing and being like, holy crap, I haven't ridden a 2-stroke since 2012, a YZ125, and that was when I was that was back when I was in like middle school or high school, just riding with my buddies on the weekends.
Yeah.
And this guy just was like, you want to fly out to California to race Straight Rhythm?
Right. And you're like, I got no money, so I got no money, so I need the was it $2,000? I think you made $2,000. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it was worth it.
Oh yeah, you were like, cool. All right, I'll make. I said, I'll guarantee you, like, I don't know what I said. I'll guarantee you $1,500, and then whatever goes from there or something.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
That was a fun weekend though, and then even just like there was so many different times too. Like Geneva, and even Paris. I'll never forget some of the stories from when we went to Bercy and the club sandwich and Mathis was just like, geez, get over the club sandwich. We're in Paris, you guys, and we're like, dude, it's the only thing that we know is safe to eat. Like, we're good. I got a Caesar salad.
In Paris?
I'm like, we're in the best city in the world for food.
Yeah.
And Brayton and McAdoo are like, nah, we'll go our club sandwich from the hotel.
Yeah, that ain't me. I would be out.
I'm like, you guys disgust me. But hey,
But then I got a Caesar salad, and it came with like
anchovies,
full
probably.
Anchovies on the top of it.
Yeah, that's the proper Caesar.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But when you eat it at 6 and your night show starts at 8, and then you're on a heat race line and you're burping anchovies, about to throw up.
Yeah,
it's not so great.
yeah. Oh yeah, great.
Yeah.
Right. We got a call on you from one for Cameron McAdoo. It's Sam. Sam, what's up? What do you want to say to Cameron McAdoo?
Hey, McAdoo, or Whackers, whatever you want to be called. Look, I just want to say you're a badass, straight up. You're a fucking badass. I wouldn't say I wasn't a fan before, but for sure, you 100% made me a fan with everything you've done. Look, you're a lot younger than me, straight up. Like, I'm 26. I don't know how old you are, maybe 20 years old. But you're an inspiration, straight up. You're an inspiration. And honestly, you're a badass, straight up. You're a fucking badass.
No, look at Sam. He's just all over it, McAdoo. He's your fan.
I just want to say you're a fucking badass.
Why were you not, Sam? Why were you not a fan? Like, what happened?
Yeah,
No, it's not that I said I wasn't a fan. It's just like he's a lot younger than me, so it's like I don't. It's like he's a kid. He's a kid to me, you know.
Right. Got it.
So, it's not like I wasn't a fan, but it's just like he's a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like, I wouldn't say I wouldn't look up to a kid, but
got it.
In this case, you know, like he's a kid, and honestly, at this point, you know, you can't help but look up to him. You know, it was incredible. It was simply incredible.
Love this guy right here.
Major props to what you did on Saturday, Tuesday. It was incredible. It was incredible to see you getting taken out and get back up. Don't talk shit. I would have absolutely gone off on the podium if I was you. Like, absolutely gone off. Absolutely.
Yeah, Paul would have taken the rental car tires and stabbed him.
Oh, worse than that. I would have fucking. Oh, you don't even know what I would have done.
Right.
Like, it would have been terrible. And major props, for keeping it classy. And
yeah,
that's all I wanted to say. Like I appreciate that, and major classy move, and I hope nothing but the best for you. You know, you definitely gained a fan and hundreds of thousands of fans for sure. You know, and major props.
Cool. Thanks, Sam. Yeah. Cam.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I bet your DMs must have just been insane, Ramit. Insane, right?
Yeah, it was wild. Like I guess, like I said earlier, I was like, I didn't expect that to be like such a thing. I was just,
right.
You know, in the heat of the moment, I'm like, I got to race, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I wasn't that. I just, you have a lot of heart. If you're gonna race, you're gonna race. I wasn't. I mean, I thought it was cool. Like, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wasn't. You know, if you weren't knocked out, which you weren't, and the doctors assessed you as being okay, and you acted, like you were there, and like, yeah, he's racing. Like I don't know. I just kind of
exactly.
Right. I'm just.
He's
like,
not mathematically eliminated.
No,
he's not.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, Cooper could not make the main event at a shootout. He can get hurt between now and then. At least you still have a chance. I mean, granted, it's not great, but
right.
it's better than
especially in a shootout where anything can happen.
A shootout, a lot of shit can happen in a shootout.
I mean, there's basically two circumstances that makes me be able to win the championship. So
right. Well, hey man, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm sure you've been hit up by a ton of people, and you're all of that. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and talk about your very exciting Atlanta. just very exciting. Oh, it's great.
Hopefully Salt Lake's very exciting in different ways.
Yeah.
And maybe I can start recouping my rental parts budget from Parabinos.
Yeah.
I racked that thing up. I think I'm on my way to go to all the dealerships around here to start buying bars if I ran the PC team up on the budget.
I'm sure Peyton is just like, oh my God, this guy. He's just Peyton. It's great though. It's awesome. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Good luck with the Salt Lake City, and thanks again, Cam.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you. That's Cameron McAdoo, everybody. Brought to you by OffroadWarehouse.com. ORW, supporters of the Chaparral team. What'd you think?